The infamous ArriveCAN app that started off with an $80,000 budget and ballooned to $54 million now comes with an RCMP investigation. Reading here from iPhone in Canada News. I think this is a Globe and Mail story to begin with. $54 million ArriveCAN app under RCMP investigation over scandal claims. Now, this is a really, really embarrassing story for the government. Once again, another scandal. But here we have it, an RCMP investigation into allegations of misconduct linked to contracting for the $54 million taxpayer-funded ArriveCAN app. This is the app that was a harassment app for anybody who was trying to cross borders during the time of COVID-19. This is, of course, the last straw that broke the camel's back when it came to the truckers that were crossing the borders, saying, get out of here, you've been way too intrusive, this is the end of the line, no, we're done with it. And then we all saw what happened with the Freedom Convoy. The app's original budget started at $80,000. These allegations were initially brought forward by Bolter, a company that had performed contract work for the CBSA. Bolter was involved in a pilot project related to detecting sexual harassment, funded from a larger $21.2 million contract that also covered work related to ArriveCAN. Our founders of Bolter recorded their conversations with IT consultants and federal employees, essentially whistleblowing on the ArriveCAN app's obscure tendering process. It's looking a lot like embezzlement from the in the government, and we're not sure quite yet. And the RCMP haven't come forward about this, but I'll definitely fill you guys in as this plot develops. The pilot project for the ArriveCAN app both involve the same three technology companies, GC Strategies, Dillian Enterprises, and Coradix, and were overseen by some of the same senior public servants. Both projects also feature layers of subcontracting that obscure any key details, such as the nature of the work and payment recipients. Now, this is being blown, into the public eye here, thanks to Larry Brock, as he's involved in these hearings, and well, he's also done a video. I'm going to get to that in just a moment. But this is a big question that he had in one of these hearings just yesterday.
That your office, you in particular, found out that the RCMP is investigating the contracts under the $54 million ArriveCAN app, not by the Government of Canada itself, but from reading the Globe and Mail story.
Yes, despite my staff being in auditing all of the departments in this audit, management had not informed me that they had referred a contracting matter, which involved many common players that we are looking at, to the RCMP. The morning that the newspaper article was released, senior management did reach out to my office, and my team has been in contact with them and in continuous dialogue since then.
So before we move on with this video, I just want to tell everyone, hey, we're going to be live. We're probably live actually right now as you're watching this video. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go over, give the channel a subscription, and check your live notifications. They're always on the left side on the homepage on YouTube, and you'll see that I live stream every Friday at 9:30 Pacific. Tonight have special guest to talk about some of the things that have been happening in schools. Nadine Ness will be joining me on RCMP Criminal Profiler. So join us in that live stream, and let's get back to this story. Now, Toronto tech companies cloned ArriveCAN under 48 hours to show the government how they overpaid millions of dollars. This was a story that broke a number of months ago. I was covering this at the time. This is October 11th, 2020. And it corresponded with another article that came from the National Post. A programmer duplicated ArriveCAN in 2 days all by himself on an app that cost Ottawa $54 million. Given that ArriveCAN is a relatively simple text-based screening app, its raw development costs could conceivably been delivered for under $250,000, some say. Now, there's this one guy who did it over the Thanksgiving weekend a year ago in order to critique ArriveCAN's eye-watering $54 million price tag. over the Thanksgiving weekend, a single techie managed to duplicate the app in less than 2 days while he was hanging out with family. The endeavor was the brainchild of Laser Technologies, a Toronto-based app developer that was among many of the Canadian tech sphere who were outraged to learn that the federal government managed to spend $54 million on a relatively simple border screening app. Was it simple? I don't know. Maybe there's some backdoor stuff that cost all that money, but we're largely looking at this as probably an embezzlement of funds case, less than that. But even though that app was quite intrusive, I think that could have been done for a much lesser cost. Now, Larry Brock made a video talking specifically about this, and well, I'll just let this play here.
You won't believe what the Liberal NDP coalition government just did. Breaking news. The Public Accounts Committee called an emergency meeting with the Auditor General of Canada to update Canadians on her audit into the $54 million ArriveCan app boondoggle. This meeting was called after we learned that the RCMP is now investigating criminality into contracts awarded under the ArriveCan app. The Liberal NDP government shut down the Auditor General's testimony after just 30 minutes of a scheduled 2-hour meeting. The evidence we heard was damning, and the coalition partners voted to cover it up and shut it down. We now know that the government officials lied before parliamentary hearings into the $54 million app. We have serious allegations of fraudulent contract practices that are a cause of grave concern. Today was the first step into a lengthy process to expose the corruption and find out how it is even possible for an app to cost taxpayers $54 million.
That's outrageous.
This is the NDP Liberal government at its absolute worst. They laughed in the face of taxpayers being on the hook for $54 million. They laughed in the face of government officials lying before a committee investigation. And they laughed in the face of potential criminal contracting practices. It was a Conservative motion in the House of Commons that got the Auditor General to investigate the $54 million ArriveCan app. And we will not stop until all wrongdoing and abuse of taxpayer money is exposed. Now more than ever, it's clear the NDP Liberal government is simply not worth the cost.
Simply not worth the cost. I'm going to have to agree with that sentiment there. But yes, of course, with the RCMP investigating into this, there's these committee hearings that are investigating into this, and then having them shut down the debate. Oh no, we're getting too close. Let's shut it down and not talk about it anymore. Obviously, Larry Brock doing a bang up job here in his role in investigating this, but well, we're only gonna find out at some point what's actually happening. Hopefully, we can get there if at all possible. I'd like to get in touch with Larry Brock and possibly have him come on and talk about this more at length, but we'll see where we get with that. Other than that, tune in tonight to the live stream. Of course, we'll be talking about this and many other stories that have been happening this week in Canada and in the world. Of course, as well as having my guest, Nadine Ness. She's going to be joining, she's worked with the RCMP as a criminal profiler. We're going to be talking about some of the profiles of individuals and some of the organizations that are getting involved in children and sexual education. So let's I'll look forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. The live stream is at 9:30 Eastern time. That's 6:30 Pacific. Check it out. We're probably live streaming already. Go check the status on the channel. Click the little icon that says Clyde Do Something right after watching this video, and come on over to the live stream. We'll see you in there. And as always, keep on trucking.